Now, the rest of the story.
Welcome back to the rest of the story. Now, page 2. That's what Paul used to say in his daily radio show. So, I miss listening to Paul Harvey. I really do. You can actually go on YouTube and look him up, and you can listen to a bunch of his stories, which was a large part of my childhood. So, I think it's pretty fitting. That's where I got my inspiration for the name of my channel. But this is what our corn currently looks like. It's not going past the camera too quick, but you can see it's still holding some of that greenness to it. I do want to say that is Dairyland. Right now, the Dairyland seed is smoking the competition. I could sit and tell you numbers. If I was honest, I don't think anyone would believe me. If I lied and said the yield was 150, 180, I imagine everyone would believe me. But that's just simply not the case. So, growing up, Grandpa always said 150 bushels to the acre was a good yield. Well, to him, that probably was a good yield. My grandpa was, for a large portion of my grandpa's farming career, he was a cattle farmer. Beef and dairy. Grain crops, row crops were an afterthought to him. He didn't really start selling grain until, I think I was like somewhere around 10 years old to in my teens, before we actually started really selling that 10,000 bushel bin every June. It just seemed how Grandpa always used to do it, is he held it until June and used it for cash flow. So the current situation is we are going to be running for a few hours here. That bin on the left here, if you guys can see it, that I'm currently filling, that is, we're about a third of the way full. Dad is that way. You guys can see him right there. And he's going to go all the way around to that waterway over there, which is currently where we're headed. I did grade this road too, so it'd be nice and smooth. But if you guys are curious what fungicide does for late season plant health, this outside 6 rows here is still green. Well, it's actually more blue at this point because we did get a good frost, and the frost did pretty much knock out any of the life the plants still had in them. I'll do a video on it about current stalk health, because I'm planning on going out and cutting all this stuff yet tonight. This is definitely going to be another night shift, second shift today, depending on how much longer it's really going to take to put the amount of corn in that bin that we're looking for. The reason I say that is because the stuff is running. When we first started yesterday, we were looking at 25, 26. By the time we quit last night, it was 21, 22. And Dad has been running for a whole, well, about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So what Dad wants to do, what we're going to be doing, is we're actually going to fill this bin about halfway full, dry down that batch, which is going to be about 10,000 bushels. I mean, 10,000 bushels, we got that bin half full, and we really haven't run much of any corn out. I mean, we got this strip that runs up to Big Red, 2 little strips over the hill, well, actually a strip and a half over the hill, and from this waterway back to where we just were. And this is going to fill the bin up to where we're going to want it. We're going to dry that down, get it good and dry, cool it off, and we're going to transfer it over to the Suka. We aren't in any too big hurry to get any grain to Dubuque yet, largely because basis is better for November, and this whole market deal, for anybody that watches the trade, we're kind of letting it pan out. It's worked in my favor really well on soybeans. On the corn trade, it has definitely improved. I don't know what I'm looking at for corn right now. Soybeans, I think we're looking at, for November delivery, just look it up, they are down a penny. They are currently at $8.87, and that's really not that bad, especially considering I was looking at $8 cash not that long ago. So you're looking at $8.20. It was approximately where it was when we started getting really serious about cutting beans, and we're looking at $8.87 minus 20 cents for trucking. Typically, we don't see much dockage on soybeans. As long as you get them harvested at the right temperature, usually it's just your trucking, and that's it. Corn's down 3 today. The basis is the irritating part because it really has not changed since May. I've been told that it's largely because of barge traffic, the freight charges on the river. Oh, you jerk. My bad. The freight to get it moved down the river is not doing a whole lot of moving because of all the flooding. I'm already being told that fertilizer prices are starting to creep up because they can't get fertilizer up the river. So I'm actually looking at potentially, possibly, maybe. I do have a bunch of bushels myself that is not sold, not contracted. I either get a spot price it, put it in a basis contract. That is through Gavilon, and I've actually been watching United Co-op up in Boscobel, and their basis is actually 10 cents better currently compared to Gavilon. So if I could gain, last night it was about 11 cents, so if I have to sell any of my uncontracted bushels, so once I get everything, all my obligations filled down at Gavilon, and I got to move the last of my grain, which of course I have to move the last of my grain. I think it's 8 to 10 miles farther, but even paying another penny or two in trucking for Ryan to haul it, he doesn't have to worry about the scales, and it's still a better price. But that's really depends on how things go forward here. There is not a lot of harvest movement right now. I mean, yeah, we got Dad going across the field at, I'm gonna say right around 3 miles an hour. Ooh, he's already getting the tank full. Question, is he gonna make it all the way over there, or is he gonna have to come down this waterway here? I'm thinking he might opt for the waterway, because he just opened that up, so I can't even get up to the field to pull up alongside the combine. So I don't know, things are shaping up, things are interesting, things aren't terrible, things aren't miserable or whatever else. I mean, I definitely don't put on a fake smile on my channel. I think that's pretty well known. So when I'm happy, or I seem stressed, or I'm irritated or upset, which I try to keep upset or anything else like that off my videos, but it's really genuine. So you guys are seeing, quite really, as Paul Harvey says, the rest of the story. This is raw, uncut, hardly edited video. So this is already an 8-minute long plus video. Chances are I'm going to do some more on the end of this yet. Once we get going for the day, I mean, that combine is filling up really quick, which is awesome. So that's one thing to be happy for, right? Prices are going up. We had some minor adjustments we had to do to the combine today, largely to the corn head. I'll have to do a bunch of update videos, and this is working, and why that's working, why this doesn't work, which we haven't had any why this doesn't work stuff yet. So thumbs up to that. So try to give you an update here later on.
Alright, well, I didn't do the best of jobs of getting an update on what we were doing for corn. Tomorrow night's video, which I did yet tonight, is actually, I went through and ground up all these stalks with the Rhino. You guys will see it tomorrow night. The rest of the combining we did for the rest of the day turned out great. We actually were starting to get in some wetter corn. The stuff that we started out, which was approximately the 20 acres, ran out great. The moisture started to tick up. We gained about 3 points of moisture from when we started the day. So we just decided to switch over and try to go and do some beans. They're still being difficult, but I'm hoping that we'll get a chance at doing some getting some soybean videos here before too terrible long. And here's the halo view really quick. Really shining, doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Being able to use that camera for seeing behind me and also seeing what's going on in the wagon. I did use it as it was getting filled to move back and forth. Pretty handy, not really efficient just because I know I can't get the wagon completely full just by watching the camera, but it's really nice having the split screen, just knowing what's going on behind you. So until next time, take care, take it easy, keep in touch.